Most Linux malware, hackers, and general threats target Linux servers and not desktops. The number of Linux malware is also extremely small, as you know. This is because there's no money in targeting such a small user base, although there is definitely money in targeting Linux servers. But there's also lots of different kernel versions, which makes creating malware a bit of a pain. Nation states do have Linux malware, though, obviously, and they do use them. So let's look at some of the automated Linux tools for finding and removing malware and rootkits. First, let's look at Rootkit Hunter or RK Hunter. This actually hasn't been updated in terms of development for a couple of years, but is still a very commonly used tool on servers. It checks for the presence of rootkits and other wanted tools. Basically, it's a kind of signature searching tool. This is a man page for it here, which is just obviously simply man RK Hunter. So let's quit out of here. And to install, I'm just using aptitude install -y RK Hunter. I do already have it installed, as we can see there. So the first thing we want to do with RK Hunter is we want to make sure it's up to date. I'm running as root here just for the presentation, but you wouldn't really want to run as root. You'd use sudo and then run the commands. So let's check for updates. That's updates of the signatures. Those are nice and up to date. We can check the version of RK Hunter, and this is the URL if you want to find more information on it. You can do a version check. You can see we've got the latest version. RK Hunter -prop upd. We now need to set the baseline file properties so that RK Hunter can alert us if any of the essential configuration files that it tracks are changed in any way. We need to tell RK Hunter to check the current values and store them as known good values in its database. So we do that with this command here. And that's actually --. So that's updated. Now we want to do a scan. RK Hunter -c, -enable all, -disable none. -c is to do the checks, -enable all is to do all checks, and a -disable none is to not ignore any of the checks, do all the checks. That's a lot of checks. So let's do the scan, and we'll get the output here. This is something that is commonly added as a cron job to be run every night on servers. So there you go, the check's been done, took 2 minutes and 2 seconds. There's a lot of output there, and actually you don't need all of the output. So what you can do is you can put ---rwo, and that will show only the warnings instead of all of the checks that are okay, because all the checks that are okay, they're okay. So if we do that, we will get a simpler output, or basically the things that we are interested in checking. So here are the results. Let's pop up to the top. Okay, so it's the warnings we need to look at. So here is the first warning. So this is telling us the following processes are using deleted files. So that is a common thing that you'll get with this. You need to check, is this normal for this process to be using deleted files? And you'll find in most cases that it is. Then we have here, warning. This is the second warning. Warning the DH client is being used. So listening on the network, that's DHCP. So this is a client. So yes, it does need it. Servers generally would not need it. Another warning here, suspicious files found in /dev. Well, that is SHM. That's the shared memory. So that's another common non-issue. And there's a hidden .java directory. Again, that's another common non-issue. So all of those non-issues. So because these are non-issues, we need to whitelist them out so that we're not warned again the next time we do a check with the tool. So the config file is at etc/rkhunter.conf. So I'll nano that file now. So we want to go through and whitelist some of those things that popped up. So what did we have there? We had the .java. So this is a common issue. So if we go here, we can allow that hidden directory. And if you've got other hidden directories, you can allow them here. Do another search. And here we've got allow process. So again, the DH client was there, so we can allow that. We add SHM, we can allow that. So you get the idea. And just while we're here, you can also set up things like the email address from which to email you and warn you of any issues. For more on the syntax, you want to check out the man page. Also check out the FAQ here. So let's save this. So that's saved. So we want to run a -C and check to see if the configuration is valid. And it is. And then we'd want to run it again to make sure that we got no warnings once we've whitelisted the things that we know are okay. And then we're at our baseline. And when we're at our baseline, we want to run this again, as that is where we want the system to be checked against. And after you make changes to your system, you want to run this command again to reduce the false positives that you get with it. So there you go, that's Rootkit Hunter.